Welcome to today's video, and today we're going to finish off what if Boo had killed the Supreme Kai. So where we left off before was just after the Future Trunks arc. His entire universe was saved, there was no appearance of Zeno, and he stayed in his timeline. So now we go back to present day. So Goku, his interactions with Zeno were still exactly the same. Just one difference: without being able to bring back Zeno from the future, there is no friend for Zeno. Goku attempts to avoid him, but is eventually dragged to his planet, where Goku tries to distract him by talking about the tournament again. This is when the Zeno exhibition match is announced. So this time, without Gohan and Boo being able to compete, the people that will replace them are Piccolo and Goten. Yes, I know Goten seems like a bit of a weird choice, but he's actually been training with both Goku and Gohan. He's a lot smarter than what his canon counterpart is, and he is a lot stronger. So now we head to the tournament. So Goten will replace Boo. So in Boo's initial fight, it was basically a joke to him. He was just having fun and enjoying himself. So Goten goes straight out. Gohan has instructed him to go straight in and finish it as soon as he can, as they cannot actually sense power levels. So Goten goes straight in, charging in his base form, and he's getting pummeled. This forces him to transform into Super Saiyan, where he is now giving a more even fight, but he's slightly getting overpowered, with Basil giving him his all now. He's not holding back whatsoever. This is when Goten releases something that his canon counterpart never did. He transforms into Super Saiyan 2. That's right, his training with Goku and Gohan has allowed him to surpass Trunks and achieve the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, which is enough for him to overpower the trio of Danger's first fighter. So now Piccolo steps up. So in this fight, originally Gohan was poisoned straight away and had to rely on his senses and Super Saiyan to have his opponent's energy bounce off him so he could read where he was going. But Piccolo has a lot more heightened senses than Gohan. Obviously his hearing is immense compared to any of the others, but he is also extremely tactical and can figure stuff out a lot sooner than Gohan. And unlike him, Piccolo, he is more clinical in his finishing. Gohan always, he stays too long in the moment. He doesn't finish a fight when he can or when he needs to. So this is a big part of this fight. Piccolo is poisoned nearly instantaneously, but if you remember, Gohan's power was more than enough to overpower his opponent. But Piccolo is not Gohan. Yes, he has better tactical abilities and he can sense where his enemy is a lot quicker, but his power is what is going to make the difference here. So Piccolo senses every movement and catches his opponent off guard every single time, hitting him, but he is not strong enough to overcome this before the poison takes effect, and Piccolo just about loses after succumbing to the poison too much. Now Goku's fight, exactly the same as what it was before. It doesn't matter his strength difference, because Goku did not give his all in that fight. And his battle with Toppo, again, pretty much exactly the same. So now we head on to the choice of fighters for the tournament. So obviously without Gohan in the fight, that means that he needs to be replaced. So his obvious choice would be Goten after his fight. But initially Gohan says to Whis, scour the universe and try and find a fighter. Someone that is powerful enough to compete for us, but that will not betray us in the sense, well, he's basically referring to what we would see in canon as Frieza. He doesn't want any villains to be on their team. but he may have to succumb to this. So Goten is initially chosen as an initial fire. So here I'd say that Frieza does not join the team because he was never seen in Resurrection F. There was never the Golden Frieza arc. So at this point they see Frieza as his power is minuscule compared to the rest of them. So Whis comes back and tells Gohan about Broly. So the two of them head to observe, not to actually interact. And both of them decide that Broly's power is too erratic. It would be more of a danger to them if they chose him to compete in the tournament. So this is when they're all sitting down to discuss who the actual final fighter would be. So out of everyone they know that's living, their biggest bet would be Yamcha. But Yamcha is a lot weaker. He doesn't really stand a chance in this tournament. Yes, he could probably take out a couple of weak fighters, but it's nothing that would actually help them. This is when they actually decide to go to Otherworld and recruit Cell. So initially the choice was Goku's to go and get Frieza, because Goku sees Frieza as his biggest adversary, his most powerful enemy. But in this timeline he is not, because he is not strong as he is in canon. Whereas now the decision is Gohan's, and he decides to go for his biggest adversary. So I know a lot of you might be thinking, what about Boo? He's a lot stronger and Gohan was one to defeat him. But I'm not sure how the whole erasing thing goes, because Gohan used the Hakai to eliminate him. Also, it was a pretty easy fight, so it's not really something that sticks in Gohan's memory as a powerful opponent. So he goes for the real adversary that was a real struggle for him, someone that's power could eclipse anyone's given the chance. So they head to Otherworld to recruit Cell. It is here where we learn that he has been doing the same kind of mental training that Frieza was doing. Although it'd be hard to gauge what his power level would be now, I'd say that he is stronger than all the humans obviously, and he is not quite as strong as the Saiyans. I'd say he's stronger than Goten, but not quite as strong as Goku and Vegeta. So he is one of the higher ranked fighters. I'd put him just a bit weaker than Android 17 at this point. So this creates like an interesting interaction between him and the androids, and Gohan assures them that if Cell steps 1 foot out of line, it will be his permanent end. So they all head to the tournament, and straight away, obviously Goku and Vegeta, they eliminate Universe 9 just like normal. Now everything goes the same up until Krillin's elimination. He was originally caught off guard by Frost when he was celebrating knocking someone out, so he gets hit with Frost's tail but is dragged back onto the arena by Cell using his extending arm that he was, well, it's in his genetic code from Piccolo. And as he does this, 18 blasts Frost, knocking him off the edge of the surface of the ring. So Frost is eliminated a lot sooner than what he originally was, and Krillin is safe. This is a little bit of an interesting interaction between him and Cell. The two just like nod at each other because it's a bit awkward, seeing as Cell, well, he pretty much broke his neck when they first saw each other in his perfect form. And 18 just looks at him. She's not going to forgive him for, well, absorbing her just because he saved her husband. So the two of them just leave Cell to it. So the next change in the story is when it comes to Ribrianne. So with the rest of the team, I'd say they get eliminated the same, but I believe that Cell would be the one to actually defeat Ribrianne, because I would see him having the same attitude towards them as, well, as 17 had, and he would be a lot more decisive and brutal in ringing her out, showing that she is absolutely nothing and that he can just eliminate her without any kind of gimmicks and just show his pure power and take her out. Now Tien would be the first casualty of Universe 7 in his usual way of a self-sacrifice to actually ring out an opponent, while Roshi would actually still be in the fight because at this point he would be about to face off with Frost, but Frost already being eliminated means that Roshi lives to fight another day, so he has more time to recover from his intense battles, and the Mafuba may come back one more time. This means that Magenta isn't in the way of Vegeta when he fights, well, when Frost is trying to get Vegeta knocked out. So I believe that he will come across Piccolo and Goten, who will just simply ring him out. This will be followed by Goku's battle with Jiren the first time. So this goes pretty much the same. Despite Goku being a little bit stronger, it is not enough to actually bridge the gap between the two. So essentially the fight is exactly the same, with Goku just dealing a little more damage in his Ultra Instinct form. In this battle, however, I would see someone like Cell, who would, while everyone else is watching this fight, mesmerised by Goku's form, would actually go up to, let's say, Botamo and ring him out. So Hit's fight with Jiren that followed Goku's fight, I'd say it goes pretty much the same, despite the fact that Hit is a lot stronger from his fights with Goku and Vegeta in the tournament before. He is now only able to hold Jiren back for a mere few seconds more before he is eliminated. Now, Cell comes over to the weak and injured Goku after his fight, and he is one that is protecting him. Like Frieza, he gives a bit of his energy to Goku, but is now protecting him for a little bit. Now, Vegeta comes into contact with Toppo. So now, Toppo has not gone into his desperation mode. It is not near the end, and he has not succumbed to the God of Destruction power, wanting to just eliminate everything for the sake of his universe's survival. But that is his downfall here, as Vegeta is a lot stronger than the one that we see in canon. Vegeta now, despite not having the form that he unlocked in canon at this point, is still strong enough to take out Toppo in this form and just knock him out of the ring, taking out one of the strongest fighters that there was left, despite the fact that Vegeta would actually get pretty hurt here and very exhausted in the process. Now, instead of Cabba being knocked out of the ring by Frieza, I would say that he is knocked out by Dispo wanting to take out at least one Saiyan in a bit of retaliation for his leader being knocked out. So now it comes to when Goku is ambushed by the robots. So these originally came as a big threat later on, but was ambushing Goku, well, at his weak point. But with Cell protecting him, instead of Caulifla coming out and just knocking them away, Cell just destroys these things. He knocks every single one of them out of the ring, which is taking out a massive threat later on without even knowing. Immediately after this, however, this is when Kale and Caulifla show up and Goku tells Cell that he'll handle this himself, leading to the subsequent battle between the two of them versus Goku, where they fuse together to become Kefla, and Goku eventually unlocking Ultra Instinct for the second time and taking them out. Simultaneously, the battle with the Universe 6 Namekians is happening. So in Gohan's place is Goten, but Krillin and Master Roshi have also joined the fight to help boost the power, because obviously Goten is a lot stronger, but he is still no Gohan. He has reached levels which he never thought seemed to be possible for the canon Goten, but even a Gohan that hadn't really trained at this point is still a lot stronger. So the battle is a lot more intense, with Krillin actually being knocked out in the process. Piccolo knocks out the first of the Namekians, while Goten fires like Gohan did, fires a Kamehameha, knocking out the second Namekian, leaving Universe 6 to be eliminated. So now it comes to Ribrianne's backup troops, they get knocked out in the exact same way, leaving their universe to be eliminated. Now Piccolo's elimination goes pretty much the same. The only difference is replacing him saving Gohan with him saving Goten. So that is literally the only difference. So now it comes on to the remaining robots. So here, most of them have already been eliminated, so it's just a question of eliminating the last couple of them. So now this is done pretty easily, but there is a sacrifice of Master Roshi here. So now the final two opponents are Dispo and Jiren. So obviously Goku and Vegeta are the ones to take on Jiren, while 17, Goten, 18 and Cell all tackle Dispo. So the battle with Dispo, he's outspeeding every single one of them. So originally he was caught off by Frieza pinning him down while Gohan overpowered him. So obviously we have Cell, who has a lot of Frieza's DNA and all his tactics. So he uses the same trick that Frieza did to pin down Dispo, while 17, who has limitless energy, actually uses this chance to overpower Dispo. So originally Frieza failed by running out of energy, which Cell does too. Dispo, attempting to take advantage of this, attempts to grab 17, but in this moment Goten kicks him to the head, passing him to one side, and before Dispo can get up, 17 traps him in an energy barrier and 18 blasts the barrier out of the ring. So he's out of the arena now, and they're all ready to take on Jiren. So obviously Goku and Vegeta, they don't want the others getting involved just yet, but they are getting beaten down pretty badly, which is when Vegeta unlocks the form that he initially did against Toppo. So at this point Vegeta is now immensely stronger than what he was in canon, and yes, he has spotted a way in towards getting Jiren like he did originally, but like normal it's not enough. The bridging power is too wide, it's too vast, and he cannot take full advantage of this, and Jiren starts beating down Vegeta. Goku tries to save him but is knocked to one side, and Vegeta is just tossed towards him. So as Jiren gets prepared to finish off the Saiyans, the androids and Cell jump in the way and try and fight Jiren off himself. Now while Goku and Vegeta get up, Goten goes over and says that their only chance now is for the two of them to fuse. He wants them to do the fusion dance. Obviously Goku already knows it, and Goten and Goku spend about a minute or so trying to teach Vegeta the fusion dance. In this process, 18 is ringed out, while 17 and Cell are continuing to fight off Jiren. So now Vegeta's got it down, they quickly use the fusion dance, and Gogeta arrives and quickly transforms into Super Saiyan Blue and charges Jiren. So the battle is immense and it's pretty even. So I'm not actually quite sure how close power would be between this and Goku's Ultra Instinct, but I'd say that it's close enough for the battle to be immense based on the battle with Broly. So I'm saying that this is an intense battle which is destroying what's left of the arena, forcing the others to stand on what little rock there is remaining. So the two of them, they arrive in an intense battle, Jiren getting stronger and stronger. He's developing more and more as the battle goes on, unleashing more and more of his incredible power, forcing Gogeta to give his all to this. There's still 2 minutes remaining in the tournament, and this is when they've used up too much power. The fusion ends. Jiren, amazed by this, quickly stops on what little rock there is remaining. There is literally just enough rock for them to stand on the platform So they're all just staring each other down, and it's time for the end to begin. With nowhere left to run, Jiren just fires blasts needlessly at every direction. All of the fighters are just jumping from one rock to another trying to avoid the blast. Goku and Vegeta charge Jiren with what little energy they have left, and they're not landing a single blow. They have used up every last drop of energy that they have left. Jiren just punches Goku in the stomach and he just drops. Goku is eliminated. Vegeta piles up every last drop that he has left. Everything he has is going into one final flash. He gives it his all and Jiren blocks it with one hand. This is when Cell and 17 decide that they have to do anything that they can. Goten stays back. 17 tries to put a barrier around any blast that Jiren is sending. So he hasn't tried this yet. He did in canon and it blew up in Jiren's face, but didn't finish him off. It didn't do anything. But now, with nowhere left to run, Jiren is sent flying back and Cell fires a Kamehameha that just blasts Jiren off the final bit of rock. So yes, Jiren is stronger, but the rock isn't. Any bit of surface that he'd be standing on, Cell eliminates. But he fires a blast too, taking Cell out with him, leaving both Goten and 17 as the only remaining fighters, and Universe 7 still wins. So the two of them decide that they'll still make 17's initial wish, and essentially everything wraps up in a neat little bow. But there's one thing that I know I'm going to get in comments. Every single person, I guarantee I will see some mention of Beerus. So I've left this purposely till the end to say that Beerus, I believe he would not be eligible to compete in the tournament because he was actually a full God of Destruction. So Toppo, I believe, is allowed in because he's in training and didn't actually master the power until he was in the tournament. But obviously Beerus, he was God of Destruction, and he was for a long time. So I believe that this would make him ineligible to compete. That's why he's not there. So everything ends as it should. Now everyone's Gohan's keeping an eye on Broly, and he has sat down with the Supreme Kai and they are taking the job a lot more seriously. So the Elder Kai is focusing on doing his job properly with creation, and Gohan, he was doing his job right to start with, but it was just too late. The damage was already done from Beerus, and they couldn't do anything to raise their mortal rating high enough. So this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and share. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye.